Good morning. My name is Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel and, of course, my Phil's Gang radio show. You can get that on my podcast on YouTube if you want to see that, and Rumble. Okay, so today we had the PP number, okay, PPI number they call it, and they want to see how much inflation is in wholesale. In other words, when you go to the grocery store, they want to see the people who are growing the lettuce and sending it to your grocery store, how much are they raising their prices to the grocery store? That's very important. That's one of the most important ones. And it amazed me this morning when they, oh, gee, it came in hot. Remember now, last week, everything was coming in cold, right? We're going to start reducing rates because everything's cool. Inflation, pretty much over. And remember I told you that's a bunch of crap. It isn't over. And let me tell you why it's not over. I'm going to tell you things they're not going to tell you on TV, on CNBC or Bloomberg or anything else, because their job is to make you feel good. So you go out and buy stuff. My job is to tell you the truth so you can make money in the market. And by the way, if you want to make money in the market, you've got to learn how to sell short when the stocks go down. Please go to myphilsgang.com. Okay, philsgang.com. You become a member free for 10 days. You learn how to short. Right, let's move on. So it came in hot this morning. They're all upset and surprised. And I said, why would they be surprised? Are you nuts? Surprised? Are you kidding? Do you know they keep also talking about the rescue plan, how they spent $1.9 trillion on the American Rescue Plan. I love these names, American Rescue Plan, American this plan. $1.9 trillion. Come on. They spent $10 trillion in 8 weeks, the first 8 weeks on COVID. We have spent nearly $300 trillion on all the different stimulus programs. 300 trillion. Do you know if you take all the borrowing of all the nations around the world, the aggregate of all of them, it's 300 trillion. We're spending, put that in perspective. We're spent 300 trillion, right? 300 trillion, all these different stimulus programs Biden spent, except 4 trillion was Trump. And you take the global economy in all the countries, and they borrowed 300 trillion. That's real inflation. That's what inflation is. It just drives me crazy. And that's colossal. Our debt this year, okay, because it's at $31 trillion, we're going to be paying more interest because we got to pay more for the money we borrow. When we sell treasuries to countries or individuals, we beg them for money, right? So keep the lights on in the White House. And they're going to want more money, more interest. They're not stupid. They know we're on the verge of bankruptcy. We'll never go bankrupt because we have the printing machine. But still, we're a risk. That's right. We're a risk. We're like a third world nation right now. In fact, all that spending, think of it, 300 trillion. We're no different than Venezuela or Cuba. We've now become a socialist nation, for God's sakes. So inflation is here, and we're going to be paying a lot more for our debt. So our 400 trillion that we're paying, 400 billion we're paying in interest on our national debt, that's going to go up. So you see what I'm saying? When they're talking last week, gee, the car prices came down in used cars. Wow, that's good. That means it's over. Okay, airfares came down. Oh, it's over. No, it's not over. Not over, not by a long shot. Let me tell you something else going on that they won't tell you. Do you know that when we had the crash, the housing crash in 2000 and started actually in 2005, but they didn't want to tell you. So, but when you hear about the housing crash, you always hear 2007, 2008. But in 2005, building permits were starting to collapse. Building permits. Not the permit you need to construct a house, building permits. They didn't say anything. 2005. And then, by the time they got to the construction permits, they're down about they fell about 40%. And then you know what happened to the market, right? Imagine if they only did something when they saw in 2005 the building permits were dropping. Remember, you got to get a building permit first before you get your construction permit. You get the building permit, then you get your construction permit. They had plenty of time between 2005 and 2007 to deal with the deal, okay? And guess where we are today? Same thing. You know that we started to see in December of last year, building permits have dropped 30%, almost close to 40%. And now our housing construction permits, we got to get another permit to start banging away at the nails. From April to where we are today, right now, is down almost 25%. So all these warnings that we had on the permits since April, nobody's dealing with it. You think they would have learned? So come on, we have a lot more inflation to go through. So they're going to have to raise rates. So if they raise rates, I made a little list of stocks that you should look at. Okay, let me give them to you. When you're raising rates, the stocks you should be in are banks, travel. I got a little list. Industrial, material, trucking, box stores like your Walmart and so forth, and brokerage companies. So if once they start reversing themselves and they start raising rates again, those are the stocks you've got to be in. But I got an idea. Why don't you come to Phil's gang? Join my gang. It's free for 10 days, and you don't have to worry about any of those. We'll get you in the right stocks at the right time, and we're going to get you to sell short too, okay? That's how you're going to make money. So that's it for this Friday. So they're all upset that the PPI came in hot. But nobody was upset that building permits have dropped already nearly 30% from December to where we are now. And nobody's talking about that. Unbelievable. All right. I'll see you on the charts. Remember, join my gang, philsgang.com. It's fun. We do have a lot of fun at our gang, okay? And you're going to learn something and make money when the market goes down. See you on the charts.